Andy, Owlaloth has come such a long way and is looking really impressive. I remember when that game just got started. Looking forward to checking that out, as well as Boundaries, shooting folks in space. What?
Coming up next, we're going to get serious with some games that may scare you a little, and then transition to some more narrative-driven situations that might make you contemplate life. We got a full roller coaster of emotions coming up. Let's go.
Let's go.
Дайма 94. Готова вторая часть на движке Unreal выйдет на PS5, Xbox Series, PS4 и Xbox One, Steam и в Гуке даже. Да блять, где ты сохранил? Короче, я, ребята, не успел, поэтому какое-то время до трансляции я прокакал, наверное, минут 10.
Playing with my mind. There is no fucking escape.
It is still unknown if she was under the influence of any drugs, or if it was actually a witchcraft ritual as indicated by the evidence found at the scene. Suggesting the latter, police officers found books at the scene containing strange symbols, candles, dead animals. So far, his left leg and 3 fingers have not been found. The first victim was her own 75-year-old father. Madison mutilated his body and
possible? This place didn't look like this a second ago. Chains? Maybe I can break them with something. What the hell am I doing? The doorbell. I gotta get to the front door.
Ой, надо будет стирать тоже. Ляска. Яичко можно съесть.
Rated teen.
Walter?
Опа. Что такое? Фига себе. Чем-то мне эта игра напоминает, мне кажется, не помню чем. Ну, мне кажется, мы в ней играли, в эту игру. Она очень похожа на эту тему. То есть я в нее поиграл, она мне не понравилась. Угу, мы в нее играли, да. Я сразу понял. Мне она не понравилась. Вот, сразу говорю. Игра показалась мне довольно скучной. Это начало вроде как было интересно. Ну и она в прошлом году, по-моему, вышла. Эксклюзив. 11 бит Studios, представляете?
It's Carol from 11-bit Studios. I'm glad to be back at Guerrilla Collective because we've
Эксклюзив.
First of all, I would like to introduce Lucas from State of Play, the creators of South of the Circle, because they would like to tell you more about how they are creating games.
I'm Luke Whitaker. I'm creative director of State of Play. We made South of the Circle, which is a narrative adventure game set in Antarctica in the 1960s. decided on such an unusual setting because I was fascinated by the surreal beauty of Antarctica. Our lead character, Peter's experience in Antarctica, remembering all his past, got me thinking about my own experiences, my own memories, and how my memories of past events are often different to other people's memories of that event. And I got looking into the science of it and realized that
Мне кажется, надо
doing
звук
when
добавить.
we are accessing memories, we're taking them out, we're
Это первый день Guerrilla
about
коллектив,
experiencing them.
ребята,
When
будут
they go back, they may be slightly altered.
еще там.
And so over a period of time, we may have completely different memories of an event. And maybe we have a family member who has been telling the same story for 20 years, and it's now very different to the first story they told.
После нее у нас будет с
We wanted to
вами...
tell the story about power and the individual, and
Забыл, как это называется
how
там.
these big powers can affect our lives. But the more we worked on this story, the more it became apparent this was a story about the individual and the individual choices we make. And we realized the most interesting thing and the most important thing in our lives are all those small emotional decisions we make and the promises we make in life. Yeah, I want to make people think and feel something. And in South of the Circle, we look at what are the far-reaching consequences of your childhood. And this is why I think video games are a fascinating medium. South of the Circle was a very emotional game to create. It's an emotional game to play. And soon you'll be able to experience this for yourself on consoles.
Так, надеюсь, все пойдет по-нормальному.
South of the Circle is the future for us, but it doesn't mean we forget about our past. For me, as one of the creators, it's hard to believe that it's been almost 8 years since the release of this War of Mine, and we've been pretty busy during that time. So let me introduce Pavel Michovsky, who'll tell you more about it.
Ну, 11 бит.
This War of Mine is an extraordinary game about civilians in war trying to survive the war, released originally in 2014 on PC.
11 бит.
And Final Cut is the ultimate version of the game, released only a month ago
Пока
on
будут у
current-gen
нас...
consoles.
Будут у нас 11 бит на PC Gaming Show.
The game is special on many layers. I mean, it speaks about human dignity in very inhuman times. Imagine being put in a war-torn city where you have to deal with lack of everything: food, medication, treatment, dealing with constant danger. In such horrible times, it takes a lot of cost and heavy effort to stay human. And this War of Mine speaks exactly about it. This War of Mine Final Cut
Ну,
has
так
got
вроде
a lot of
прикольно
content
выглядит.
comparing to the old-gen version.
Так как сегодня жестко будет, да и завтра, наверное,
New
тоже.
civilians, new scenarios,
Нихуя на
new
не весело не
locations.
будет.
So practically the game is a few times bigger comparing to the old one. And I need to stress out that in the game there is no tutorial. And you may ask why. It's simple, because in war no one would tell you how to survive. Since 2014, we've been constantly developing the game, adding new story-driven scenarios, a lot of free updates, a ton of content, including even charity content that was directed specifically towards gathering funds for War Child, in this case. And lately we've organized donation for Ukrainian Red Cross just by selling the game, and we amounted $1 million almost. So actually this War of Mine is a great example that a game can make a change and be that way something more than just a game.
That's all we've got for you today, and I hope you like it. And having an opportunity to be here, I would like to thank you all for supporting 11 Episode for so many years, because it's thanks to you that we were able to achieve so many great things. And while speaking about great things, there's actually one more to come, and it's right around the corner. So be sure to follow up 11B Studios news in upcoming days, because you're gonna like it. Trust me.
Сделано. Немножко не так, как я хотел, конечно.
Hello, I'm Jörg Tittel, and I'm the
Hello,
writer and
hello,
director
how
of
are
The
you?
Last Worker, a first-person narrative adventure centered around our struggle in an increasingly automated world.
I'm Ryan Bousfield, I run Wolf and Wood, and we're bringing The Last Worker to PC, console, and VR platforms in 2022.
The Last Worker puts you into the body, the mind, and the seat of Kurt, the last human worker at Youngle Fulfillment Center 1,
Так,
the largest
пока
such
никого у нас
facility
на стриме
on
вообще
Earth,
нет.
size of the sunken city of Manhattan. And you've been there for 25 years, you've never made a single mistake, which is why you still have your job, and that's why everyone else has lost
Не надо
theirs.
как-то,
It's easy to
поэтому, короче,
marvel at the
по-быстрому
wonders of
сделать.
Youngle. But remember,
Так, тут
here at
ничего
Youngle,
нет.
time waits for no man.
You can say that again.
It's easy to marvel at the wonders of Youngle.
Stop.
But of course you're not entirely alone in the game. There's Skew, your only friend and cobot, played by Jason Isaacs, who you might know from Harry Potter, Star Trek Discovery, Death of Stalin, Olafur Darry Olafson,
Так.
Zelda Williams, David Hewlett, Claire Hope Asherty, and Tommy Earl Jenkins. We've got an incredible cast.
This area should be off limits.
At Youngle, there are no limits.
So you start out doing the day-to-day work of Kurt, dispatching products, you're keeping up with the robots. But obviously this is not a work simulator.
Ну, начнем.
You're soon contacted by a group of
Исключение.
activists called Spear. They want you to kind of delve deeper into the facility. They want you to take on this espionage, we're calling kind of stealth light gameplay, where you do have to go to these zones where you're not supposed to be. And so you've got to delve deeper, picking up tools and weapons later on to access these areas. So you're always going to have that push and pull between the activists and Kurt's pride in his day-to-day job.
Don't worry, she won't hurt you.
Да чё?
Again, right? Hoverbird?
I can't promise anything.
It's a story and world rich with drama and even the occasional moments of horror and a lot of comedy as well. Because it's important for us to build a world that you actually want to inhabit. We wanted to make something that is crafted with love and full of color. We have been working with Nick
Не
McMahon,
получается.
the incredible comics legend and co-creator of Judge Dredd, on designing these characters in the world with him. And I hope you will enjoy the very unique look of our game.
At Youngle, nothing.
The game is packed with so many surprises and crazy cool moments. We just cannot wait for you to play it later this year.
По-моему, абсолютно пофигу.
Justin, remember, the Frigidaire is red.
Маски
You
хоть
can't
сняли
take your eyes
наконец-то.
off of it.
I mean, you don't have to ask me thrice. You know what?
2000
Signalis is
зрителей, в
also
принципе.
looking slick with its old school PlayStation textures and gritty. It's
И ноутбук типа с Райза. Так мы, блять, вам поверили.
To loosen things up, you guys don't have to worry about staring at a crimson icebox. We've got some upbeat style arcade titles coming at you. Let's shred right into it.
Shred it.
Эксклюзив. О, прикольно, не готов. Снова тебя улетаю. Питомап какой-то. Да, какой-то питомап. Привет, привет, кто пришел. Выйдет даже в геймпассе на Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series и ПК. И у меня, естественно, начинает подлагивать. Это не есть хорошо. Сука, заебала, дай-ка. Я сделал, что мне надо. Вот, например, вот эту хуйню хочу. Вот. Да почему? Блять, вы издеваетесь надо мной. Вообще. Ты там. Бля, как же заебало. Да вы, блять, издеваетесь надо мной. Они, блять, просто, блять, вы знаете, угорает. Видите, ошибочка, блядь. Да какого хуя? Какого, мать его, лешего? Блять, ну может это хоть. Наконец-то, блядь. Ебать, как долго надо было искать. Ура, блядь. Дожили, блядь.
Justin.
Он гамает.
Justin.
Justin.
Justin!
What? I'm trying to play Witch and Whiz here. What? Candy?
Please put down the handheld. I have a really special surprise for you.
Okay, you have my undivided attention now.
Good. Good. Because next up, we're going to go back to the future and share some neo-retro games, soon-to-be classics, that give you that old-school funk, that give you that feeling. We're going to start out with our favorite heroes in a half shell, see what's happening with the Kickstarter Symphony of the Night Indie, South Darling, and much more.
This better be good.
Oh, it will be.
Вот черепашки ниндзя. Кто-то заебись. Немножко геймплей показывают на двоих, кстати. Ну там до 6 ходил уже известно. Это и даже и так по интерфейсу видно. Вот здесь будет один, там здесь и так далее. Ну, геймплей много показывают. Оно все. Паркинг Шкода Ревенж. Эксклюзив.
dragon stirs in the void, and an empire trembles. The rule of the Magi Lords is failing. Where now shall we place our faith? In the low cunning of the sellswords, or in the golden dead to whom we offer prayers? Certainly not in the foul magical praxis of witches and lay sorcerers. No. This is our punishment. We woke the dragon. And for us, there is no
Ой, бля. Какая-то игра. ВКонтакте мне пишет. Иди. Иди нахуй. Не хочу тебя видеть. Запить, ребята. Тяжело. Ой, кто кнопку нажал. Привет, привет, кто пришел, кто ушел. Жигулевская, это у нас барная есть. Написано барная. Фирма. А есть у меня ячменные. Цвет у них сильно-сильно отличается. То есть здесь даже по моей самой лучшей камере видно, должно быть видно, что вот это зелененькое, а это все такое коричневое. Ну, как говорится, пробуем хуйду.
right, Candace. Thank you so much for Karate Chop in the handheld, because that was lit. Turtles in Time was my childhood right there. Can't wait for the Cowabunga collection. Shout out to Digital Eclipse. Also, Bats is out now, and you can pre-order the physical edition from Limited Run Games. I'm going to pick up all of those games when they are out of the oven.
I am too. Coming up next are some surprises that fall into our last category, but also add some new flex to the RPG and strategy genre as well. Let's menu dive into the next set of games, shall we?
We shall.
Welcome to WrestleQuest, the world's first pro wrestling RPG, and the sweatiest game here at the Guerrilla Collective.
Что такое, интересно?
I'm Zach, the head of narrative here at MegaCat Studios.
I'm Andy. I'm one of our senior designers.
And we've got some content here to show you that has
Ну,
never been
вкус
seen
как
before.
сам.
So WrestleQuest includes real-world wrestling
Какой-то
legends like Macho Man
искусственный
Randy
слишком,
Savage,
очень слишком.
Jeff Jarrett, Jake the Snake,
Это,
and
конечно,
more. These guys have
не блевотина,
statues across the
как
world
бы
map,
лапша,
all
например.
over to pay tribute to these icons.
Но
These sites are also the starting point for side quests themed around each legend. Here on screen, Machacho Man and his friends are at the end of one of these quests. They've been investigating a strange cult of Wrestle Raiders that worship the Road Warriors. After a chase through the Mad Max-style wasteland, the quest comes to a head with a wrestling match against Hawk and Animal on the back of a speeding big rig. So each of these side quests themed around the real wrestling legends. Some of them you'll help the wrestlers, some of them you'll end up fighting them, like here. And no matter the outcome, they're always the key to the game's best. Sometimes you'll get iconic gear or outfits from the wrestlers, other times you'll be able to summon them into battle. So, I know some RPGs will let you summon dragons and monsters,
ну,
but only
даже
WrestleQuest
много ты попустил, там слишком много игр было. Вот недавно черепашки снова показывали, которых мы будем вместе с Максимом играть, так что не упустите. На следующей неделе они выходят у нас в четверг. Может быть, в четверг, если получится, там поиграем. В пятницу у меня другие планы будут.
They fit into each other very nicely.
It's important to have that type of signature. Speaking of
Сейчас пьем вот пивко, вон, видите, Кулевское. Ну, еще было. Только это побольше уже. Такое, это уже такое ячменное, вот здесь написано будет, но камера, наверное, не передаст, да, сука? А вот здесь написано просто пиво светлое. У меня была печальный... У меня был печальный день. Не было. Что такое случилось? А еще у меня есть такой молсик. Видите, молс. Клюква. Такой, знаете, еле-еле кисленький. Неплохо. Вкус даже поинтереснее будет. Вкус будет даже, наверное, интереснее.
Hey folks, I'm Buddy, the community manager for Akupara Games, and today I'd like to introduce you to the core gameplay of Zoetti, our poker-based roguelike by Dusklight Games. In Zoetti, you've got all the ingredients that make a core.
У тебя же нормально было, ты же вон стрим смотрел, кто был. Да, я играл в игру по апокалипсису.
As you know, you fight your way through a number of battles before facing off against a boss. And every time you win a fight, you get a reward. You get more powerful before you face tougher challenges. You know, like all of the stuff that makes for a good roguelike experience. When we get into skills and abilities that you're using to win those battles, though, you know, like that's when things get a little spicy. In Zoetti, you have a limited number of skill slots, and each one is tied to a particular
Привет, ребятки, кто пришел.
The rarer the hand, the more powerful the skill.
Присоединяйтесь в Discord, пока я
weaker than, you know, a straight flush. So, in practice, this is how it works. At the beginning of the fight, you draw a bunch of cards. These are playing cards, and depending on the kinds of poker hands you can create, you can activate those skills. if you have 3 of a kind in hand, you can activate this skill tied to 3 of a kind. So here, I'm going to activate Boundless Battle Spirit, which buffs my damage a bunch. And then I'm going to activate it again, and then I'm going to hit a bunch of times with individual strikes. When you win a battle in Zoetti, you don't add more or different cards to your deck.
Так, изначально после обеда мы с мамой должны пойти на парикмахерскую, но у мамы голова болит, и мы отложили до завтра, если, конечно, мама сама вылечится. У меня тоже сегодня голова болит. И это уже, по-моему, какой день уже болит. В среду голова болела. Вчера, сейчас болит. Короче, тяжело, одним словом. Парикмахерскую тебе тоже стричься еще, да? Ты говоришь, не любишь длинные волосы? Если я не путаю, потому что голова болит, я не могу полностью согласиться. У меня, кстати, есть большая-большая пачка.
13 cards in hand, which gives you much better access to some of your deeper, more powerful skills, like something tied to a full house or a string.
Вот.
You can also
Там большая пачка, которая была, это 200 с чем-то там грамм, не помню. Сейчас скажу, сколько. Блин, где грамм?
Anyway, I think that's about as complicated as I'm willing to
225 грамм. Тут есть, внизу написано, но вы вряд ли это увидите. Но где-то вот тут внизу будет написано, хотя должно быть видно. Вот если приблизить, видите, 225 грамм. Это самая большая пачка была. Больше, видимо, не существует. Давно уже выяснил. Ой, запах приятненький. Стоит она, кстати, ну я в красно-белом был, КБ. Она стоит 150 рублей, вот эта пачка. А в некоторых магазинах, ну то есть это еще, скажем так, адекватная цена, хотя вот когда ты открываешь, вот, я открыл, и просто половины нет. А так, в других магазинах она чуть не за 200 стоит там. Так что в красно-белом выгодно брать. Лично мама позвонила в скорую помощь, чтобы сделать укол. Я расстроена, чуть не плакал. Понять, что маме плохо. У мамы начались тошнота и вообще не шевелилась. В таких даже обстоятельствах тебе нужно забить на YouTube и думать только о маме, а не смотреть мой стрим. Но я очень надеюсь, что все будет хорошо у ней. Может быть, сегодня такой день очень плохой. Вот. Передай своей маме, что Димон, вот это хочет, чтобы с ней все было хорошо. Здоровье, счастье, то есть самое главное здоровье, а там все остальное потом придет. Пока что никого у нас нет в Дискорде, ни Дмитрия Спинова, ни Максима. Вот. Я, кстати, не знаю, в кооперативе нам по черепашке недели одному. Надо голосование, может, провести или как? Как лучше, интересно. Я могу в выжжёшку пойти, могу в кого-то. Просто за кооператив надо доплачивать будет. Сколько-то рублей. Я доплачу, но мне надо вот знать мнение людей. Осталось на самом деле немного, бутылочка маленькая. Вот, видите.
Because this world is ruled by greed, and greed is exactly what you need here. So kill. And blow up. anyone who stands in your way.
Я хочу молстик попробовать. Мне молст нравится. Кстати, у них был напиток интересный в КБ. Молст я вот их не пробовал, попробовал. Стоит он 79 рублей за литр. То, конечно, не дешево, но окей. У них там еще был напиточек. Я в следующий раз, когда пойду в красно-белое, хочу взять у них. Субтитры даже есть, киберпанк. Даже, прикиньте. Там есть напиток, так, что-то подобное, только про манго. Но не мос, а именно манго. Хочу его попробовать. Стоит он 100 чем-то рублей, ну хотя бы один раз попробовать. Вечером мама... я уже читал это. О, слушайте, хорошо. Значит, по поводу стримов. У нас сегодня опять стрим-марафон, и завтра, кстати, будет стрим-марафон.
The combat of Keylocker takes place on a tactical grid, where every move must be considered.
Ну и там понедельник будет там тоже немножко.
Timing your attack is crucial for survival.
А вот со вторника уже там по идее ничего не должно быть. Так вот, значит сегодня. Сейчас смотрим Guerrilla коллектив, потом в 19:30 будет новая конфа. Это, считайте, сколько стримов будет? Раз. Потом там будет еще одна конфа в 20:30. Это 3. Там будет небольшой стрим 4. Короче, где-то сегодня 6 стримов. 6, блин, стримов, 6. За один день будет. Считай тот, кто был уже. В общем. Завтра, наверное, у нас... Ну, завтра у нас будет стримафон намного позже. Если сегодня он, по идее, должен был начаться там где-то 18:00, завтра будет позже, завтра в 20 будет. Завтра будет Xbox, обязательно на него приходите прям сразу же. Там будут анонсы прям вот не такие, а прям вот, то есть ну вот они показывают вот такие вот анонсы, а там вот такие будут. Ну как, я бы сказать маме, что тебе нужна моя помощь, но мама ответила, нет, мне не нужна твоя помощь, мне нужно просто лежать все пройдет. Ну видишь, значит, не все настолько плохо, как могло быть. Отлично. Бутылочка, можно, знаете, вот так. Ой, ой, слушайте, больно. Сейчас я выкину бутылку.
If you want to see more of Keylocker, head over to our Steam page and make sure to wishlist and follow. We will have a demo available there during the summer of gaming, so make sure to check that out. Thank you.
Так, ну у нас осталась еще одна бутылочка пива. Это уже барная ячменная, она больше. Постараемся, у меня еще энергетики есть. Короче, постараемся на завтра оставить. Хотя мне завтра в магазин надо будет еще идти. Потому что понедельник обуздаем. Ну завтра будет, наверное, где-то 3 стрима. То есть все-таки разница есть, когда... Вчера у нас сколько было? 4-5 стримов. Сегодня 6, где-то так, 6-5, а завтра 3. Есть же разница.
Wow, Justin, WrestleQuest looks fantastic. The nostalgia of those pixels brings me right back to playing Royal Rumble with my brother on the Genesis.
I feel you.
It also brings me back to some trauma.
Trauma?
Trauma, yeah. You know, my brother recorded over all of my high school cheerleading VHS tapes with episodes of Monday Night Raw.
That is so ridiculous.
It did, and it gave me a really bad relationship with wrestling, but there's something about WrestleQuest that's making me second-guess that, and I feel like I should really let all of this go.
You definitely should make that happen.
You know what, Joey? I love you, and I forgive you. Now I can move on with my life.
Great breakthrough, Candace. And now that that's all over, we can move on with our lives and the rest of the show. Candy, how can we support these devs and their games?
by the Steam event page, Justin. So everybody, be sure to check out the Guerrilla Collective 3 event page on Steam.
Definitely support the devs, check out their games, wishlist them, and all that jazz for sure. Okay, kids, it's GC3 key time. Here's the QR code. Take a picture of it for some of your favorite awesome Guerrilla Collective games from the developers and publishers representing the GC. Free keys. You love them. You see the QR code. Take it. First come, first serve. Boom. Up next on GC3, it is time for some action. We're going to share some indie titles that represent tough in the action adventure department. So let's go.
Hello everyone.
Нет, еще, видимо, не все.
Narrative director at Soulmate Games, and I'm here to present to you our latest work, Batora: Lost Haven, which will launch this fall. Batora is a narrative action RPG where Avril, our protagonist, will have to face a cosmic journey and use her powers to save who and what she loves, making many significant choices that will change the destiny of the whole universe. Avril's journey will take her to 4 different worlds, each representing one of the natural elements. The one we are seeing right now is Wild, the planet of Air, which is composed of 5 completely different areas that will feature a scorching desert, this eerie mountain, a mystical river infested by evil spirits, and so much more. We've had a lot of fun creating intriguing characters with their own cultures and customs, alongside with colorful and vibrant environments that you get to explore in details thanks to an in-game zoom. All the planets that Avril will visit during the game are actually inspired by real places and human cultures. For example, Wuhav is strongly based on Chinese mythologies and settings, and this cute little lizard that we see here is called Yoke. He's from the Kakaya tribe, and he's also a companion that will help us in combat while we uncover the secrets of this mysterious world. Speaking of fighting, Batora features 2 different combat styles that revolves around the main concept of the game, dualism. In her physical form, Avril will be able to use a sword to fight in melee, while in her mental form she'll be able to throw projectiles at enemies. Switching between them constantly during fight allows the player to adapt to every situation and change his strategy in a split second. This is important because every enemy inside Batora is divided into 3 different variations: physical, mental, and hybrid, so changing out combat style constantly is essential to emerge victorious. The nature switch mechanic is also used to solve
наверное, еще где-то
For example,
минут
this one is a
20-30 будет конфа. Она, в принципе, вроде как не длинная должна быть. Потом будет следующий стрим. Жалко, что когда вот люди по конференцию, многие в 95% случаев не говорят, сколько она идет. Вот Microsoft мы завтра будем смотреть. Это будет, наверное, самая лучшая конфа на уровне самого геймфеста. Так вот, там, как сказать, там они, короче, сказали, что конфа будет идти 1:35, то есть 95 минут, то есть уже заявлено. А вот например, сколько тут будет идти, непонятно. Почему нельзя сказать, сколько времени будет идти? В этом году выходит в Steam, на Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series, PS4 и 5. О, Team 17. Team 17.
As Hilda delves deeper into the quest for her lost father, she will encounter many dangers and challenges in the city of Aphes. Let us introduce you to one of the main adversaries that Hilda will have to confront, Eulalia, the Prey. Famous for her beautiful voice, Eulalia used to be the most recognized singer during Aphes' glorious golden age. But, like so many others, Eulalia would fall victim
Кстати, вы заметили? Нету больше плакатов. Все. Иудиц.
The famine brought on by the Asterigos changed her into something else. She turned to an evil cult, the Ethros, and dedicated herself to it, becoming a symbol by using her reputation and voice to lure more people to join the cult. The encounter starts with Eulalia flying around the top of the seats while sending attacks like voice shock blasts, feather blades, and
Ну, что за фигня? Почему завис вот все? Господи.
Occasionally, she'll descend to the ground to fight Hilda herself, with even more dangerous claw and wing strikes. After some back and forth fights, Eulalia would fly to the sky and use her voice and feather blades to attack Hilda again. And this time, she even calls upon several harpy minions to assist her. During this phase, Hilda must fight the minions while watching out for Eulalia's deadly attacks from above. Once Hilda has
Ой,
dealt with
блин,
the
надо,
minions,
кстати...
Eulalia will
Знаете, что надо сделать? У меня рука болит, и мне надо, наверное, смазать.
storms to swoop around the
Сейчас я... Чтобы вы не видели этот страшный процесс, а то...
This is when the battle culminates. The feather storms will continually fire sharp blades as Hilda
Правда,
cautiously
чуть-чуть
counters
осталось.
Eulalia's onslaught in
Вот
close
это.
combat.
Как он там?
In the end,
Ультара.
only the strongest will survive.
И Мультгель, он мне, в принципе, в свое время помогал, когда...
We hope you enjoy this preview, and we can't wait to share
Лучше
more
пока
about
без
the world
вебки
of
будем какое-то
Asterios
время.
with you.
Не знаю, минут 10, может. Так вот, в свое время он мне помогал, когда у меня нога болела. Неплохо так помог. Да, болела, но через 3 недели она прошла. Это было в конце года. Надеюсь, такого в конце года больше не будет. Я, если честно, за это время намучился. Короче, пока без вебки будем какое-то время. Давай. Ну что, чуть-чуть вообще, что ничего не осталось. Блин, надо будет новую купить. Мать хорошая, ребята, но она, сука, дорогая. Серьезно, она очень дорогая. Так, ну сейчас я попробую что-нибудь сделать. Димон должен решить эту проблему. Во. Во, давай. Так, что-то я попустил, какой анонс был. Сразу говорю, не видел. Буду честно, не видел. Ой-ой-ой, она еще холодная, мать. А, уже летом выйдет эта игра. Что-то в стиме где-то, что там будет. Давай. Блять, рука просто побаливает. Не очень это удобно. Надеюсь, вам вентилятор не слышно. У меня здесь вентилятор шумит. Но так как у меня микрофон должен быть, ну, не топовый, но все равно, то это должно быть все нормально. Где-то вот здесь вот она болит. Вот. Надо смазывать, где болит в первую очередь. Все, мощь у меня закончилась, пора ее выкидывать. Ой, ебаный выход. Так. Да, Даша, я пока камеру выключил. Сейчас я ее включу. Я тут это смазывал. Вот эта рука, она у меня вот здесь, сука, болит. И бывает неудобно. Ну, со временем пройдем. А завтра надо, наверное, будет ковер стирать. Вот этот, ну вот этот, кто вы видите, вот здесь вот. Сейчас видно, надо будет. Вот. Так сказать, я ее называю не ковер, мою клёнку. Я тут немножко анонсы попустил игру. Снова кабалит, но это не страшный процесс. Я-то знаю, я знаю, забаните YouTube. За что меня забанят? YouTube? О, это что за коты какие-то? Коты, рыбка. И что такое вот за фиолетовое животное? Интересно. Моус, кстати, хороший. Могу его посоветовать, если вы любите Моус, вот такой берите, вот написано Моус клюква. Прям такая кислиночка где-то на... Вот я вино пил, там была кислинка на восьмерку, прям кисло. А здесь прям на двоечку, ну, максимум троечка.
Explore a land of secrets. Free and befriend all kinds of animals. And use their talents to make new discoveries.
Да что ты показываешь нам якобы страшный процесс? А, это фигня все.
Or just hang out. Build your home. Decorate it however you like. And help develop your hamlet. Grow all kinds of crops on your farm and craft everything you need.
Все это фигня.
Thwart greedy pirates, repel monsters, and uncover mysteries. In time, you can explore and restore peace to Ikone Island. A new Earthlock adventure is about to begin. Ikone Island, coming soon on Steam.
Опио бета будет в стиме. Понимаете? Поняли, в чем прикол? Сегодня даже похоже, что ты будешь одна. Нет больше никого. Платформер какой-то. Надо монетки собирать. На время. Ну, это 3D платформер. Это не 2D. Видно как в 2D, но это 3D. Нормально. В 64. Когда там выходит вот эта игра, вот это, хуй пойми когда она. Ну сейчас надо от выхода скажу, так вот игра прикольная, заинтересовал. Платформы мне нравятся. Там Соник, Марио, Ratchet & Clank, Реймон, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro.
Face off against big bug bosses that serve as the guardians between areas. They may look charming, but they're powerful foes. Collect all sorts of treasure, including hats you can swap your helmet with, gallery pictures, tons of medals, and a full bestiary. be on the lookout for Jake. He's a young treasure hunter who'll stop at nothing to get to the treasure before Renata. Whenever you find him, the race is on. Look around for hidden treasure and alternate paths because every level is full of surprises and optional objectives. From lush jungles to stinky swamps, snowy mountaintops and lava-filled shrines, the varied ruins ensure you'll need to be prepared for anything. But above all else, be prepared for lots of fun in Frogan.
I am loving all of the frog games hopping around. Frog Gun in a time on Frog Island. Animal. Oh my god. Ridiculous and amazing premises.
Yeah, Spells and Secrets will definitely have me showing off my magic.
Конец, что ли, будет?
Torah, so many solid titles.
Там дата выхода лета, что ли, было? А, подписывайтесь на телеграм-канал, нихера себе. Вот это реклама.
For some awesome games from developers and publishers representing the GC Guerrilla Collective. There's a limited time. There's a limited keys. We're going to be popping these up. Okay.
Get it.
That's enough. Okay. Y'all got your keys. Boom.
Up next, we're going to put on our creative caps and get back into strategy, show off some games that are focused on world building, narrative construction, and tending to your magnificent gardens. Let's hop right in and go.
Let's go.
А, нет, еще не все, нет, не все еще. Вы чё? Еще рановато заканчивать. Хотя через 15 минут уже вот новая конфа. У меня просто 10 пальцев. 5. Ой! Блять, что я там? Я случайно что-то отправил.
Disassemble the old house appliances to create new stuff out of old parts. Explore Cosmopolis to find useful resources and new friends? I did not expect to see a talking fridge there. Oh well. Get away and start your life fresh in I Am Future. Coming to Steam in 2022. Wishlist now.
Welcome to Flat-Eye, a premier fuel station and technological hub. As the manager of Flat-Eye, we're entrusted you to provide unparalleled customer service. Let's explore the various modules you'll be tasked with to outfit your station.
А у них будет где? А, на ютубе у них будет. Отлично. Геймплей на фото, кстати, написано внизу.
At the start, your module list will be limited, but each new unit placed opens up new menus of possibilities. Take this toilet module you've installed. Thanks to your diligent work stocking shelves and promptly dealing with customer purchases, you now have enough to upgrade it to a smart toilet. We can tell so much by analyzing whatever's going down the drain. With this data, we can now safely open a doctor booth to provide sound medical advice to patrons so they can have their illnesses diagnosed and treated with further iLife branded medical modules. In essence, you have the most important job in the world. Flat-Eye, making decisions for the benefit of everyone.
Два года назад Guerrilla Collective проводила 3 дня конференции, а сейчас по 2. Следующий день их не будет в понедельник в 23:00. Я не понимаю, почему так поздно, почему нельзя сделать нормальное время. О, эксклюзив. А, вот премьер вот это. Мировая премьера. Нигел!
Be there in just a second, Mom.
There were dark things in this forest, and you are not one of them. You have to help us, save us from her.
Honey?
Седьмого июля 2020 года. В Стиме выходит игра. Август 25. В Стиме и в Гоке. Цветок.
Definitely use some gardening tips.
Show enough, you do not have a green thumb, Candy.
I know. I think, you know what, Justin? No more real plants. From now on, I'm sticking to Animal Crossing and Garden Inn. Now, for our final segment, we're going to touch your imagination with games that tickle your soul and jiggle your mind. Let's hop into some games that bring a sense of awe, wonder, and give you all the feels.
Jiggle your mind, though.
Jiggle your mind.
Well, let's get to jiggling.
Эксклюзив.
It was a hot, sunny day. Fish died in the lake, and birds stopped singing. Those who could escaped to Mars. I ran deep into the forest, where she-wolf raised me with her cubs. Many moons later, you returned. You hunted and played golf. One day, I found one of you dead, so I put his helmet on.
Radio nostalgia from Mars. Greetings, all you Martians out there. It's time for another round of radio nostalgia from Mars. Blue skies, warm days, the long lost summers of our past on Earth. Will we ever return? Stay tuned for more on that. A little toddler pop there, taking us back to the days of late-stage capitalism at its finest. Child labor never sounded so sweet.
Radio nostalgia.
Hey, Slug Cats. I'm Buddy, the community manager for Akupara Games, and today I'd like to introduce you to the 5 new playable Slug Cats coming in Rain World Downpour, our new expansion for Rain World coming soon. If you haven't heard about the Downpour expansion for Rain World, it's bringing a whole host of new changes, characters, enemies, areas, and more to the Rain World experience. But the thing I really want to dig into today are those 5 adorable new Slug Cats. They are the Rivulet, the Spearmaster, the Saint, the Gourmand, and the Artificer. Up first, let's talk about the Rivulet. This blue little guy has a ton of advantages to living in the harsh, foreboding environment of Rain World. It runs faster, jumps higher, and can breathe underwater, which means it can zip across the map between rainstorms. That's the good news. The bad news is, 1, all that running and swimming burns a ton of calories. 2, Rivulet's hibernation cycles are shorter than any other slug cat. And 3, it doesn't carry much food over from day to day. Play the Rivulet if you want to be agile, but don't mind stocking up between storms. If you're looking for a little more aggression though, maybe the Spearmaster will be for you. This spiky slug cat spawns spears, which is a tongue twister that I nailed on the first try. This is my first take, definitely not my 5th one, out of its tail, which means that anytime you can start stabbing spiders, scavengers, or squidcada. The Spearmaster drains 1 food for every spear it lands on a target, which means it isn't all that interested in the dangle fruits and slime mold that other slug cats will need to sustain themselves. If you want to survive as Spearmaster, you better be out for blood. Play the Spearmaster if you want to be the Predator, hunting down prey and aggressively thriving between rainstorms. But maybe you want the opposite of that aggressive playstyle. Well, the Saint much prefers to avoid confrontations at all costs, which even includes using its long tongue to grapple through areas of the world. If the Rivulet is nimble in water, the Saint is acrobatic in the air, and you need to use that aerial finesse to stay high above the danger. The Saint won't even touch a spear, which can leave it a little bit exposed to being hunted down and devoured. Play the Saint if you want to deftly dodge your doom with your acrobatic antics. Okay, there's so much more I want to talk about, but I only have like 30 seconds left. There's 2 more slippery slug cats coming in Rain World Downpour, and I swear to God, one of them is the cutest thing you have seen in your life. You know, the other is just kind of cute. Honestly, I'm just saying that to be nice. He's pretty messed up looking. You can go watch an extended cut of this video featuring them right now on YouTube or the Rain World Steam page. Otherwise, I hope you have a great time at the Guerrilla Collective. Cheers.
Densha. 自動販売機。おはよ ようございます。こんばんは。ホテル、寿司屋、果物、スケートボード、
Candy, my soul is genuinely tickled right now. Those games were so wonderful.
So many amazing games today. It was really incredible.
Over 60 games. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks once again to our sponsors and broadcasting partners for their support. PlayStation, Razer, Astro Gaming, Tencent, our fellow devs and publishers, 11-Bit, Akupara, All In Games, Assemble Entertainment, Aurora Punks, Freedom, Graffiti, Gravity Games Arise, HeroCraft, Modern Wolf, Raw Fury, Tiny Build, and Wired Productions. Also, we cannot forget our broadcasting partners, Twitch, GameSpot, Valve, and IGN for their support. Much gratitude.
You guys, a final reminder to be sure to check out the Guerrilla Collective event page on Steam.
Definitely check out those games, wishlist the games, and support them on every platform. Huge shout out and thanks to Wilmer Sound. We are here in Berkeley, California in the awesome studio, and the scrappy, illustrious mix team as well as AV Society. Be sure to tune in on Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern, where the Guerrilla Collective gaming greatness will continue with GC 3.5. Also, you can follow the Guerrilla Collective on Twitter at Guerrilla Collect and everywhere else at Guerrilla Collective, as well as the Mix at Indie Exchange on Twitter and at Media Indie Exchange everywhere else. Once again, I am your host, Justin Woodward from The Mix, with my lovely co-host, Candace McKinney.
Thank you again, Justin. Today was so amazing. I really appreciate you having me here. I just always have so much fun with you guys. And with that, we are signing off and passing it off to Jenny Wyndham, a.k.a. Kim Chica, to jump into the warm and full-hearted world of wholesome games with Wholesome Direct. We'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you soon. Peace.
Hey everyone, and thank you so much, Candy. A huge congratulations to all of the developers and to the Guerrilla Collective team